Hop Pimpo Haiti, the Haitian diaspora living in Haiti podcast, where we bring in the best guests, where we talk about the best topics as it relates to the Haitian diaspora and getting back into the country, getting back into being involved in changing, reshaping, and impacting the nation that we love. And I don't do it alone. I have the pastor.
Yeah. Marc Antoine.
Yes, Marc, who's my soldier at arms as we engage in these topics of positivity, but necessary conversations related to our engagement from all different aspects. And this episode, sorry guys, I'm sorry. This is a season ender. We are moving towards taking a bit of a pause as we re-engage, retool, and prepare for an upcoming season that we're looking honestly to take it to what next level. And so this episode, really, we're going to really talk about what we liked about this past season. We had some incredible guests, right? And of course, then we're going to take it to where we see the show going. And so I'm pretty, it's mixed feelings that we're doing this episode, but I think I can do it. I have, as I was preparing for the show and looking at, what we've done, I'm thinking, wow, I mean, given that we're locked in time because of COVID and some other stuff that's happening in the background, which I'll certainly mention as the show goes on. The fact that we were able to produce this show, the show over the season, I feel very, very humbled that we got this far, and most importantly, I'm appreciative that I have a great co-host in you, Marc, someone who
thank you.
We're different people, but yet we have an understanding of what's necessary. And we know that it takes different perspectives and different angles to appreciate the potentiality of change and the fact that despite our differences, we have more in common than anything, and we work so well together. I'm certainly appreciative of that.
Yeah, for sure. I think that brings a lot of wealth, to the conversations, the fact that we can come at it from different perspectives, understand different things, but still be able to land at the same space, understanding that, one of the key elements to the revolution and development of our country is the engagement, impactful engagement of the diaspora. So awesome, man. Thank you for leading and steering the ship over these past, 16 shows, episodes, man. Wow.
13 now.
Amazing.
So before we get really to the nitty gritty of this talk we're going to have between you and I want to remind folks that you can catch this on so many different platforms, from YouTube to Facebook to Spotify to Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, however you listen to podcasts, however you want to consume information, we're on it. And make sure as you listen to it, hit that thumbs up, drop a comment, right? Share it to a friend, most importantly, because it's the more folks who are able to improve their level of understanding, it goes after what we're really after here, which is ROI, return on information, right? And so let me thank you in advance for doing your part from that perspective. All right. So Marc, one thing I want to do, man, I want to just kind of go through really like what some of our favorite. I was thinking about, like, let's go through some of our favorite episodes, but honestly, I liked every episode we've done. So instead of just picking one, I just want to go through each one and just kind of see anecdotally which, just different things that are interesting about those episodes. And before I even start that, I just want to say too, a lot of folks don't know this, is that though I did mention it eventually with when we got to Castelline, but for folks who understand, I actually, in addition to my businesses, right, that I run, the one reason why I'm able to not like just hound people and ask, hey, drop a donation or here's my GoFundMe for this different venture. I'm able to self-fund a lot of the things I do because I also function as a full-time consultant in the IT analytics space, right? And I had a vocation, a job, really, for almost a good portion of my time in Haiti. When I first got there, I just jumped right into it. And actually one of our first guests, Junior JB, was the one who introduced me to the idea of, you can be in Haiti and function as a remote consultant so you can get like your full wage and salary and benefits while you're in Haiti. And I was like, wait a minute, you're doing that? And he's like, he wasn't even in IT. And I was like, wait, if you're doing that, I can do that, right? And it's been a game changer because the stress,
Sure.
looking for money. I always look at the perspective. I always say, having this gig, these set of gigs, allowed me to stop chasing pennies and look for dollar opportunities, right? So not sacrifice for the little, but really function in a much more big picture way. And of course, we talked about that a lot in episode 2 with Junior JB. But here's the thing: is I spent a few episodes actually jobless, right? And I'm telling you, between COVID and all the things that are going on, I'm not gonna lie to you, Mark. I was like, should I be spending my time doing this podcast? Right? I was like, man, I flirted with the idea of taking a pause as we just started. But I was like, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to keep pushing. We're going to keep talking. We're going to keep talking. Going to keep engaging. Keep with the mission of encouraging and enlightening our group here, right? Because what we're doing here supersedes whatever may be happening personally. And honestly, it helped me tremendously. To get over it. And obviously, I did land on my feet very well. I mean, I have an opportunity now that is, light years better than what I had before. So everything ended up working out. But I just thought I'd share that little piece. I don't know what was. I know some things going on with you too. I know you were away from your wife, and then you had to fly. I don't know what personal stuff may have been happening on your end that folks weren't even aware.
Yeah, when we started the show, I was in Haiti still, and all the COVID stuff was kicking off, and I was still in Haiti. But my wife and my son went to the States because my wife is also pregnant. So we have a newborn and she's pregnant. And so she went to the States to get care. And we decided that it would probably just be best for her to stay during all this COVID stuff going on. And so she was staying in the States with our son, and I was in Haiti. And that's fine for 1 or 2 weeks, but after 3-4 weeks go by, you haven't seen your wife and you haven't seen your newborn son.
Your newborn.
You're wondering, is he going to remember you when you get back? So I was like, nah, I need to get back home. And so, home is wherever my wife and son is. So wherever they are. So I was able to get out of Haiti and get to Florida. But still working remotely, taking care of a pregnant wife, taking care of a newborn son is not easy. Taking time out to do the show. And your wife is, she's limited because she's very pregnant, and you have a newborn baby that has a lot of energy and running, crawling around, I should say. So there are a lot of challenges, but this show has really been a blessing. I hope it's a blessing for the listeners as much as it has been for me, to be encouraged about what's going on in Haiti. I mean, it's been a great source of encouragement for me, a great source of motivation, and hopefully, we can continue. And next season, people can begin to see our faces, and as we do it bigger and better.
For sure. I and the thing is, I want folks to understand that so COVID caused the show. It's also in the fact that we're reopening and we're flying. I'm flying back next week on Saturday, which is certainly would have been a pause, but it's also an opportunity that since we're all going to be eventually coming back in, it gives a chance for a rebirth, right? And I think the biggest takeaway I want folks to kind of get is that it's about adapting, right? I was doing the SeeJeanty media and the in-person stuff, and then when I realized, man, you know what, I can't do that because of COVID, and I know there was always a demand. One of the biggest requests I get, podcasts. We're gonna do a podcast. We're gonna do a podcast, and they're like, let's do a podcast now. And I always wanted to get, to also work hand in hand with someone who I wanted to really, I know could add value to the conversations we have. And again, I had that. So I know, whatever challenge you may be having before or during, I think my word of just advice is always look at challenges as an opportunity and you push through it. Just got to push through it. And so certainly my biggest thing I'll be considering as we are on pause is just being very encouraged that we were successful in producing these amount of episodes that we did, despite all these things that were going on.
For sure.
And honestly, because of these things we were able to get through. So good stuff.
Awesome.
So looking through these episodes here, I can say, our first episode, obviously, we just you and I talking, and that was cool. Just kind of get that first win out the way, right? And then Junior JB actually still remains one of our most watched episodes, and I think a lot of folks have reached out and because he provided a lot of tips on how to get remote work, and how to navigate it, and also he gave a Cap Haitien perspective. I think Cap Haitien is even though it's our second biggest city, it's often neglected, and that's certainly something I want to. Once if I find another Cap Haitien guest to bring them on, because Cap Haitien is it's one of my favorite cities. Port-au-Prince, you kind of have to be there, but if I could choose to be somewhere that's a big city in Haiti, I'd choose Cap Haitien. I think.
Interesting.
I think that's my take with the Junior JB episode. Just it was a very knowledgeable episode. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, he did give a great set of resources, tips, and ideas. I think very simple things that people probably just never thought of, and so it was encouraging to hear. The biggest thing is being in Haiti and getting paid and getting the benefits from back, in the States. I think one of the biggest fears for a lot of people is when they move to Haiti, they don't want to be underpaid, and they don't want to, change their lifestyles or change, the salaries and things. And so, having this option of remote work is a great asset and great tool for many people who want to do the move but don't want to give up the benefits.
Yeah, I agree. And one thing that I find, when folks are thinking about coming to Haiti and work, because there was a fast, I want to work in Haiti. Then when you realize a professional salary, what it is, although it's very good for a native Haitian, given who doesn't potentially have a lifestyle requirement, right? That supersedes what that salary can provide. But those Haitians coming in from elsewhere have requirements that salary, Haitian salary, can't really provide.
Right.
And that disconnect between expectations and reality, usually hits home hard and usually causes folks to eventually leave very dissatisfied. So,
especially if folks are coming to Haiti with loans that they need to pay back, student loans, car loans, mortgages, you're not gonna be able to pay that with what you're making here. So that remote work is it offers you flexibility, with time, but also offers you best of both worlds. So
that is agreed. That's one reason why I made a point to finish my student loans before I moved. Even my wife. One reason why she's sort of delayed that official move back. She's working on getting her student loans knocked out, and she'll be done this year, right? And then next year, early next year, she'll be able to be comfortably in country with me. So that's an important part. That if you can, you should. Because not having that depth. So looking at that next episode, we talked about we had Pascal Antoine. That was great. That's certainly one of my favorites because I have so much respect.
The OG.
Pascal, man. Yeah. He's been doing it long before us, and he's still at it, right? And he's someone who's just so cool, so down to earth, man. He's genuinely an open person, right? And I'm sharing how I just reached out to him out the blue, and he's made time and spoke with me over an hour in the airport as I was going to fly back to Haiti. Like to Haiti on my genuine move back to Haiti, and I was talking to him at the airport, and he didn't even know me. He didn't know me from Jim from Bob, And so that was definitely great to learn about his past and his contributions to the art of exposing the beauty of Haiti online, which he's been doing for at least the different aspects of Haiti, beauty being an important part of it online for quite some time. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, just everything you said, I echo. He's an OG, one of the originals, of diaspora, and to get back to Haiti and to really impact. And it's crazy how many of us, were following what he was doing without knowing it was him. And I was one of those people, following what was going on, using his networks, using his platforms, and never knew he was the guy behind it. So it was really, really cool to have him on and give that history. Yeah.
They did Haiti Exchange.
Haiti Exchange.
Yeah. So the next one, Assez pour. Actually, no, it was the next one. Actually, was your Philadelphia connection.
Yes,
yes, the Philadelphia connection. She's working rural hospital work out in way out there in Gonaive area, La Tibonite area, way out there. And no, that was great to kind of have someone who wasn't in the city, someone who was really out there in healthcare, and in a position of and really someone who Philly to the middle, basically middle. I don't want to say middle of nowhere, but like out there in Haiti,
very rural.
Running, helping with lives, and she mentioned somewhere around at least 100,000, some odd plus Haitians that her hospital sort of has a sphere of influence in terms of keeping aid and nutrition and just education practices of how to keep yourself in good health. Her hospital affected, and that was just really cool.
Hope you got Albert Schweitzer. What was really encouraging was to hear that most of the people who are leading are Haitians, and they're not foreigners. So that was really interesting. She's second in command over there, and so it really another example of just how much diaspora can come back and impact.
Yeah, agreed. And then from there, we had Anse pour Haiti, which was fantastic, right? She's doing some incredible work out there. Nadine, doing some incredible work. And can yell. I mean, she does it play up. Nadine Delroy. She doesn't play up that. I mean, you kind of have to get that out of her. The fact that she went to Yale and Harvard, right? In education, and again, when you have those things on your resume, you can do anything. You can be on a presidential body. You can go to Silicon Valley. Whatever you want to do, you write your own check. You're basically given a blank check. But yet, the fact that she chose to come back to Haiti and basically create a ground movement, where she's getting the rural Haitians quality education. I mean, that is the optimum of what it means to be a Haitian diaspora who understands that, the future of the country is in our hands. It's in our hands, man. And if it's not us, then who? Right?
Definitely.
Definitely. I mean, truly embodies that.
Big time. It's not easy giving up opportunities in the U.S. I mean, even without that type of pedigree, to give up opportunities in the U.S. is not easy. And for her, to come back and do that and to be, supporting education in a really innovative way, really getting to some of the root causes, which is capacity of teachers, which is what she's focusing on, training up the people who are teaching our children. It's awesome. So Anse pour Haiti, definitely a great episode.
I had a few folks who really appreciated it and said, because I had a few folks who reached out and who are also interested in education, right? And so they probably, after this is like maybe the second or third most like privately messaged episode that folks have reached out to and say, can you put me in contact with her, because I want to help, I want to contribute, so very, very happy about that episode. The next one was honestly the one that's probably helped me the most. It was our personal conversation about home help drivers, showers, rallies of Haiti. That was honestly, I I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding, Mark. I was continued to pay on the majority of my groceries from the like grocery store in Haiti. And when you told me the price difference, yo,
yeah.
I wake up in the middle of the night. I'm overpaying how much?
Big time.
So guess what? I made sure I told my home help and then the driver I work with, listen, we're gonna go into the mashuns now. I mean, we're going mashe. Sorry, we're going to the mashes now. Yep. And as much as we can buy in the mashes, we're gonna buy in the mashes. I ain't doing the grocery stores no more.
Right. Right. Whatever you can get from the mashe, man.
And I even asked for a quote. I said, because she knows how much we usually buy, right? How much I need. And she was like, yeah, I think we can get most of it for $50 good. And I was like, what?
Exactly.
$50 good is like $50. And I remember I'm spending $100 plus a week. And she already said she can already a half. And even that, I think is going to be pretty generous. I think I should come back with quite a bit.
You can get less than that because it's only you, right?
Yeah, only me.
Only you, man. Come on, you can get it. $50 good at the mashe. What you eating the buffet every night?
Man, the meat is expensive. I don't know. You get your meat. You get your meat there, right?
Yeah, I get my meat from the mashe. I get my meat from the mashe, bro.
Which mashe, by the way? Which mashe in because I know you're in Delma PV area. Which mashe you mostly?
There's a mashe right on Delma Cadretoire. Right next to Eagle Market. If you make that left, there's a mashe there, small mashe, but it has everything I need. It has a meat, has fruits, has everything, man.
All right, yeah. I mean, if that mashe can handle it, then I think most mashes also. There's an even bigger mashe off Woodfouet. There's an even bigger mashe on the southern side of PV, where I know I have some family members who usually buy from that area. Okay, all right.
Mashe life, man. Mashe life.
Yo, I'm telling you, I'm on it. I'm on it now.
Not only does it save you money, but we're also investing into our local people.
Yeah, you're genuinely, providing infusion of capital and resources into the real Haiti, into the Haiti that really, needs it, right? Those folks, they're educating so many of those Haitians that who you see in the streets, who oftentimes are frustrated. Though as you're spending your money, that money's going to them, and hopefully a generation that potentially will be educated, and then hopefully get a slightly more formal style of work, especially as Haiti improves. But that was a great conversation. Honestly, one of my favorite episodes. I learned so much, man. So if you guys really want to understand the lifestyle of Haiti, man, check out E06. Man. I totally forgot about that episode. Glad we're talking about it. So the next episode, African American experience, living, investing. This one.
With Tyreek, was it?
That was Tyreek. Yeah. So I'm telling you, man, I easily got. This probably has to be our second most popular, third most popular. I mean, this was very popular. I had so many folks talk to me. It's like, yo, this guy Tyreek. Remember, Tyreek comes from a background, Nation of Islam, right?
Yeah.
Grew up. That's why his last name is Muhammad. Dad was deeply involved in Nation of Islam. He grew up in Miami. Always had Haitian friends. Married a Haitian woman. Which sort of allowed, because she had a brother who was recently returned to Haiti, and that functioned sort of as a bridge. And then of course he had this sort of real estate business where he was making outbound calls, and so he decided, let me do it in Haiti. And he knows so many Haitians who speak English well, and he can provide them a real meaningful, life-changing wage. Not only does it provide a baseline wage, but also gives them a real percentage of sales, like real estate sales, that the deals they're able to find through their calls. I mean, literally, I saw one guy got a payout of somewhere around $3,000 to $4,000. I'm like,
very nice.
A Haitian who's not like freaking, who didn't necessarily perhaps finished all his license, right? Process. Get $3-4 grand, just for a deal closed. Meaning, if you the same guy could probably be getting that every week potentially if you can close deals.
Right.
It's just genuinely life changing, right? And so the fact that he was able to do it, and by the way, he doesn't even speak Creole. Doesn't speak a word of it, and he's doing it. What's your excuse as a Haitian, right? What's your excuse? People who pas facile, But yeah, he have an African American who just says, you know what? I understand the plight of our people. around the world, and Haiti as a leader of change for Black people around the world, I have an obligation to go to Haiti and see what I can do to economically empower. And if he's saying that, what about you?
Yeah,
what about you?
For sure,
So
for sure.
that was one of my favorite episodes, man.
Definitely. He
yeah.
brought a great perspective, man. You know, being married to a Haitian, coming back as an African American. I mean, wonderful perspective there.
Yeah, he's someone who I'm gonna try to do a little more with him on SeeJeanty Media. Try to do a Haiti
Nice.
spotlight for sure.
Nice.
And get back. He's still. And what's crazy? He's been in Haiti the entire time of COVID. Like literally, he flew in before. And I asked him, "Did you know?" Like, I said, I even warned him kind of. I said, potentially Haiti might be closing its borders. And I kind of knew what's happening, but I was hoping I was gonna get back before.
Yeah.
But he was like, no. Not only did he know, he expected it. Like he packed. Yeah. Expecting to be locked out of America. Right. And I'm like, yo, we need more of this. I wish if we had, that's one thing that I always said. I always said, like, the secret to Black people around the world changing is the success of African Americans.
Yeah, for sure.
Because as African Americans in the richest nation in the history of the world, right? If they could elevate themselves as a group, and then get that consciousness to say, you know what, we have to be the brother's keeper of the world, of the Black people of the world. I think in a future world, in a future timeline, that's going to happen.
For sure.
Right? So anyways, it gets me very energized
awesome.
about that. Then after that, we had a great episode. We had Construction Maven, Ana Contreras.
Yes, I missed the episode. What I listened in. Amazing, man. And hopefully, I'm looking forward to working with her in the future. Actually, so yeah, that was great.
Yeah, and that was just to get Dominican. I mean, when I say Dominican, she's Dominican. She was Miss Dominican Republic Universe and Miss Dominican Republic World. So she reps Dominican Republic, and as someone who grew up in Dominican Republic, but yet about 10 years ago, she moved to Haiti, and she's built so many homes, she's done so many projects, and she speaks Creole now too.
Beautiful homes too. Beautiful homes too.
Not just homes too, commercial projects.
Yes.
I know, for example, the Epidor on Delma, which I know you're familiar with.
Yes, for sure.
Yes, she redesigned that, the whole
Very
front.
Nice.
It was her company that redesigned that. And so again, she's doing so much incredible work, and so much respect for her. And she really shows that we really can't treat our neighbors as our enemies, man.
No.
Yes, there's stuff happening there that we can disagree with, but we need to engage in these conversations in a way that hopefully one day we can. Hopefully understand we're brothers. Dominican Republic and Haitians. We are siblings sharing the same island.
For sure.
We need to have a win-win mentality amongst ourselves, and really collaborate more and have a much more open understanding between ourselves. Because it's only then, we can genuinely advance and potentially, take over the Caribbean. We can just start really working together. So that was a great episode. I was very happy to have her, and she's just a beautiful soul. Not just her soul is beautiful, and definitely appreciate Anna having her on. And then next episode we had it was a very interesting conversation about COVID-19. Right, and just you and I talking about just because we had to have an episode, just you and I just talking about the COVID-19 impact, and that was very value added. Where we thought it was going, and I was pretty pessimistic, and so far those numbers have sort of stayed in a rational realm, right? It's not like America where, like, I know as we're talking right now, Florida is getting 10,000 new cases a day.
Ridiculous.
Right? And so certainly we're not seeing those crazy numbers, which I was expecting to see in Haiti yet. And I hope it doesn't ever become that. Especially now, but now they're opening the airports. And so, I don't know how I feel about that either. So maybe one of our first episodes we'll have when we get back will be, hey, how's COVID-19 been?
Right.
In Haiti, right? And hopefully it won't be too negative.
Yeah.
So, and then after that we had Boston and Haiti. We had Regine Deodat. You know, I know you weren't able to be there on that episode.
No, I wasn't, but I listened in. Absolutely amazing, man. She brought really, really great perspective, really practical information, and great testimony from her side.
Regine is one of my favorite people in Haiti. And once you meet Regine, you know why. She has this soul that you just want to open up to her, talk to her, hang out with her. And it was crazy. Her daughter is an amplification of Regine. Her daughter, you just want to eat her up. She is the cutest thing, man. I'm like, man, I look at her daughter, I look at my wife, I'm like, hey, if you get me a daughter, I want that. I want that, just like that. Don't give me anything different. I want a daughter just like that. But Regine's someone I've had on my show, other programs, and she's certainly someone. If you don't know about, definitely check out the stuff we've done before, and definitely check out that episode. It was certainly one of my favorites to have someone who I respect tremendously to be a part. And then after that, we had one man's mission to revitalize Mia Ballet, man. Jackie Poto is such an incredible person, man.
Yeah. Another OG,
man. And to have someone, you know, he's an older cat, even though I didn't even bring that up. But because his soul is so young, like he's younger than me. Give it his soul, his energy, his capacity, his vision. He has this, you know, when you're younger and you ask a kid what they want to be, and they say, "Oh, I want to be a firefighter." Yeah, and they say it with so much optimism and zeal, and you believe them. Like you believe the kid. Like when they tell you, "I want to be," this kid will be a firefighter. He's gonna be. But when you ask Jackie, what do you see about Haiti, and he tells you, he sees the youth empowering and taking charge and taking over, and him helping build that capacity of the youth to take over. And he says with this youth and this optimism that you can't help but believe that he's gonna do it, because he's doing it. He's doing it. You know, between his ILC center, and then he has this other thing called SNAE, which is like a rolling conference sort of deal. You know, he's someone who, man, to me, the nearest thing to a mentor. Like, you know, and I'm a guy, I don't really have mentors. I have people who I identify. Like I say, okay, this is a guy I want to be him at a particular age, right? and though my domain is more business, but I still want to have that level of just real impact when I'm where Jackie is, you know, in life, you know. So
yeah, he definitely is that kind of figure for a lot of us younger guys in Haiti, man, and his youth and his zeal is very encouraging, and I do hope to be like him when I get to his level of maturity, let's say.
Yep. Then there we went the Haitian American returning, bringing data science again. I say this too much, but you know, Castelline is one of my favorite people in Haiti. Again, and she's just down to earth, cool peoples.
Yeah.
You know, and she's someone who when you meet her one conversation, you're like, man, I want to root for this person. I want to make sure whatever I can do to make sure this person's successful, I want to be able to do it, because of the fact that right away you realize it's not about her. It's not about her. Like, she is just a vehicle of which countless others will be affected. And the moment you see that, and you see that that's her soul, you can't help, if you're a good person, you can't help but say, holy crap, I need to leverage this medium, who she is, to magnify impact across the country. And that's what she's doing, right?
Yeah.
So I can't, and on top of that, is in data analytics. That's the consulting domain I'm very familiar with. And so, you know, get Stanford educated, didn't have to come back to Haiti, but she said, you know what? She's going to do it. She's doing it. I
think this was the episode I probably learned the most, you know, from. I'm not familiar with, you know, data analytics or data science, and I know that's your domain, and I could hear the joy. I could almost see your eyes widen as the show went on. And so it was good for me, you know, just to sit back and listen and learn. So I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, yeah, it was a really fun conversation. We got deep into it, and you geeked out a little bit. I was a little afraid that we're gonna leave you behind there, Mark, but you kept up. So
Yeah,
good
man.
stuff.
Yo, a lot. I'm someone who loves to learn, and while you and her were going back and forth, I was taking notes, so it was good.
That was a fun episode for sure. And then of course E13. Oh man, we had La Belle Vie director. Oh man, I
La
was
Belle Vie.
so surprised I was able to get her on. I feel like she's the Ava DuVernay of us, right? She's someone who I really do hope she can get continued opportunities to present her work and produce good work, because we need somebody with that perspective, our perspective, telling that story in as many different ways as possible. And
She,
mhm.
yeah, she was definitely episode 13 was definitely one of my favorite episodes. Because it hit a lot of the cultural aspects, which from an anthropology, sociology standpoint is very, very important. And I think it's fundamental for our people to understand that. So the cultural aspect of representation, piece, entertainment, her growing up as, coming from a privileged background, but growing up in Black Harlem, so she really had a really, really interesting perspective. And so I was very, very, interested. So definitely that was one of my favorites.
Yeah, it was. And plus, she's a New Yorker, and so she had a New Yorker swag and flavor to her perspective, which was really fun. I really, really enjoyed that episode. Really did. And then from there, we had a conversation with BLM. We had that one-on-one between you and I talking about. Had some folks reach out to me, man. Debating me. My perspective of BLM was a little controversial. Colorism too. And then there's like two folks who were white in Haiti who came and provided me some perspective offline about their experience. And that's something we need to potentially add on the list of things to talk about, is being white in Haiti. That's something to talk about.
Yeah,
right?
For sure.
On multiple sides, because I can tell you, for example, on SeeJeanty Media, one of my most watched videos is with Alain, Haitian Hillbilly. I'm not sure if you've seen that episode.
I have.
And I can tell you, I've had to delete so many comments, man, from that.
Ignorance.
Talk about ignorance. What's up with this blonde doing in our country? How's this blonde able to hold up someone's? Like, obviously, you have not read. I mean, you did not watch the video, because the guy is a multi-generational Haitian. His great grandfather has been in Haiti. Has been Haitian, right, in multiple generations. So, obviously, you haven't watched the episode, right? But that sort of mentality, it's like it's disappointing, right? To know that, if the other shoe was on the other foot, would it be really any different? You see what I'm saying? Like, could we not be better? Right? Do we not? Can we not revert to the same tribalism that has gotten blacks to where we are in the world? Can we not be better? So, but nonetheless, that was a great episode, and I certainly enjoyed talking about it, and hearing your story, man. One reason folks need to go back to that, hearing your story, what happened to you. I was taken aback, man. I'm glad, you didn't become another, story. So
praise God. But that was a really, really interesting episode, and I think we need to continue to have these conversations. Very, very important, especially in these days. So
yeah, and then next episode, Marie on the deportee story.
Oh yeah.
She was someone who, I was trying to get someone from that perspective, on for a long time. Even getting Marie was tricky. I didn't think I was gonna be able to get her on, because for a few weeks I was trying to message her and try to get her on, but she was being, I don't know, a little distant, I'll be honest. But then finally, maybe I nudged her the right way. Philly Dom was very helpful in sort of convincing her that I'm on her side. I'm here to really tell a very, I'm not here for controversy. I'm here to get the story, to help others, right? And I think from there we were able to you got her on, and that story, man, so Marie's has been the most watched episode for a reason, right?
Wow.
Because her story
Wow.
is so impactful. I mean, there was a few parts I sort of teared, but yet so hopeful.
Yeah.
There's nothing. She didn't hide anything. She didn't hide anything from us.
Yeah.
Told us everything, every detail.
For sure.
Right?
Yeah.
With a energy and spirit. Remember when she started a conversation, I was like, man, you could be a podcast reader, or ebook reader. Your voice is so sage and so calm and so right. And so, but yet she's telling these dark things that happened to her. But yet at the end of it, it was nothing but positivity. Nothing about how she's changing things. How she's building homes for folks in Haiti now, and educating Haitians, and being about the youth and being that ambassador of change. And that's like, man, that is incredible. Right? And that's why we can't just throw away the deportee.
Yes, exactly. She represents definitely a group of people who have been marginalized, misunderstood, abused in Haitian society, and she's taken a very unfortunate situation and turning it around to bless not only her life but the life of many others. So definitely a wonderful story. It was really good to have Marie on, and hopefully we get a chance to meet her when we're back on the island.
Yeah, definitely. And the last most recent episode, we had Duquin Fernand.
Yeah, my man Duke.
Yeah, it was great to have him, man. He is the very symbol of serial entrepreneur, and to his name, he has 450 people working through his different ventures. Someone at the age of 11, he was orphan, parentless, but yet he had multiple businesses, and in fact, he was able to go to school because he sold a business. So this guy, in any other country, he'd probably be a multi-millionaire already, right? He's doing well for himself now, but I'm telling you, this is the sort of guy, potentially he'll be a billionaire already, given this amount of the energy and the acumen this guy has. But nonetheless, he's still doing his part. He's still wildly successful. And I'm telling you, he's someone who I have a vibrational connection with, because I'm about that. Right. Yeah. He's already down the road. He's been at it for over a decade plus, and I'm sort of just starting. And certainly I want to be Duke. Another 5-10 years. I want to be Duke. I want to have hundreds of employees jobs to my name, knowing that I'm helping, changing lives, so Duke is certainly a role model for me, and without a doubt.
Yeah, for sure. Duke is, when we talked about impact, and you labeled it impact, I think he is definitely one of the great examples of real impact, creating real life jobs for people. And he's done it. Now, a lot of times people may look at that and get, this may be a little, wow, he's done, all this and get a little shy, but to hear a story, it didn't happen overnight. It took a lot of hard work, and I really appreciated that he went through all of that with us, and now he can say after all of that he's been able to achieve this. So it was encouraging, for all of us to know that it does take time in Haiti. Things are not always cut and dry. Things are not always linear in Haiti, in business in general, but especially in Haiti. But it is possible, and so definitely a really hopeful, motivational way to end our season.
For sure. And now I'm just thinking what's next in terms of types of guests to have, right? And for sure, and we had some folks who tried to get on, but because of schedules and other things, I know technically we had a pastor of yours, associate of yours, right? I don't know if he's a pastor, but he's high up in the church here in Haiti. And also he had experience with the church in America as Haitian American. And we actually began to shoot that episode, but then, technical issues related to his internet didn't allow us to continue. And so certainly we're looking forward certainly to change that, because again, the way we're looking to do the episode going forward, the series going forward is in person.
Yes.
And so we gotta nail down the location, because my current office is a little busy, and then you mentioned that your office may have a little more space. So we're gonna location scope, and then be able to bring folks in and not have that internet be a potential issue. Hopefully, preferably. And also, we're going to change it up. We're going to be in person as well, and so a lot of cool stuff. I cannot wait for next episode, next season. To be done differently. In addition to having everything streamed to the podcast, we got a Amir Ballet doctor too, who we're going to bring on, but again, scheduling didn't allow it. But certainly, we hope to have that happen next time. And certainly when it comes to topics, there's a couple of different topics I know I want to talk about for sure. And some folks have requested, for example, voodoo, getting someone, a Haitian American, who, can talk about that, or even just a Haitian, talk about that, and provide that perspective to our audience. I think that's something we can't skirt around. We have to talk about it, because, a lot of Haitians are a part of it. And there's a lot of misconceptions too that Hollywood has kind of forced upon us, that we really need to understand, that sector of spirituality, so we can, depending on your perspective, if it needs to be something that needs to be deconstructed, okay, that's your perspective. Others say we need to sort of put that on a pedestal because of its contributions overall to who we are, right? So I don't know. I'm not here to say one thing or another, but I'm just certainly saying we, at the very first, we need to talk about it to understand it, to make the right choice, whatever that choice may be, right?
Yeah. So I think from a Christian perspective, a lot of people are often afraid, to go anywhere near it. But I think it's, like you said, is something that is definitely, in a general sense, is part of Haitian culture, and it's something that would do us well to talk about, to raise. It's no longer acceptable to ignore things. I know in past generations and our ancestors, if they don't like something, they just ignore it, or if they don't understand something, they just ignore it. But that's not okay. I think conversation is always important. So definitely looking forward to having that talk.
Yep, I agree. And then there's other topics too we got to talk about. For example, sports. We didn't get any sports conversations. Sports is a big part of being Haitian, and so we're going to try to get somebody in that sphere. And I know I am aware of someone who owns a team, or is part of managing a Haitian football team. And then a person lives in Boston but flies in to help manage the season. So I want to get someone like that in to really provide that perspective, which would be really interesting. And then the other things too, politics. I know I don't ever do politics, but that is something to talk about, right? And this one of the podcasts is really to talk about everything, and so even politics. And no, we're not going to pick a side, right? We're just going to bring someone who is engaged, maybe functions as a consultant, right? Or I think someone who has a Haitian American caucus, who represents Haitian American issues directly to politicians, right? So someone like that, maybe,
HAC, yes, for sure.
Yeah, something like that. So certainly going to be bringing that in. So, so much, so much potential things to talk about, and I'm looking forward to this next season, man. I'm gung ho and just doing it differently in person.
I think being together in person is going to definitely bring some more energy, to the conversations, and instead of just listening, people can view, and I think it's just going to we'll be able to interact, with our audience a bit more. So I'm really excited for that part next season.
For sure. And I guess the last thing in terms of time frame, I think I certainly would like. So this month, obviously, I think it's a lot of touch and go. You'll be back in the country and trying to get things set up. But certainly, at the latest September, I would like for us to pick up season 2 around September. If we can do it earlier, we'll do it earlier. But certainly, season 2, we're in September. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, early September is the birth of my baby boy.
Oh, so, okay. Well, yeah, I guess, maybe, we'll talk about it, guys. We'll talk about it. Maybe August, maybe something.
I may come to the podcast and give everyone a first look at my son.
Nice. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
We'll play it by ear. But no, but listen, I just, that's kind of where I want to end it. Again, Mark, I just want to thank you for being an incredible co-host. You've added so much value to each conversation, your perspective, your questions, and also low key, man, low key. The big criticism I've gotten, who's this white sounding guy? and you bring that legit credibility, given that feeling is in you, son. So you add a little bit of credibility to the show that I certainly appreciate. That my tone and my verbiage often gets
I feel you
the other direction. So
I feel you.
Appreciate that.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's great. I've been honored to receive. When you hit me up and like, hey, I want you to be part of this. I was really, really honored, and definitely something that I, enjoy doing is, sharing with fellow diaspora about Haiti. So it's been great, man. And I thank you for your leadership on this and a lot of, the contacts that you've been able to make, all through your different ventures you have, whether, all on SeeJeanty, you are definitely pioneering a space in Haiti, man, that is awesome. So really, really honored to be part of this, and I'm looking forward to continuing. You already know, man. Let's do it.
Thanks, brother. Thank you. And of course, a big part of what allows us to do what we do is our audience, right? So as you guys were listening, I hope certainly you appreciated this recap we've done. And of course, we did talk about some ideas. I would love to hear your ideas. So however you want to get it to me, if you want to leave comments in this video, if you're listening on a place that allows commenting, I know Facebook allows commenting, YouTube allows commenting, but you can always message me directly. I'm on IG, SeeJeanty. Marc Antoine is also there as well. Message any of us. We'll take those notes down. I'll put your ideas for when we get back on air, because this is as much your show as our show. Because at the end of the day, if you're not listening, if you're not enjoying what's being presented, then what's the point, right? So we really want to ensure that we are giving you guys what you want to hear. So please, reach out to us. Let us know what we should be engaging in the next season. Whatever ideas of how we can present, we're so open to it. You have no idea. So please, we encourage that very much, very much. Yeah. All right, guys. Listen. Until this is the we're gonna take a break, but we'll be back. Right. I want to thank you so much to the folks who listened thus far, who appreciated thus far, and we'll be back. We'll be back at it again when we are back at it
again. Yes, sir.
Peace out, guys. Haitian, my people Haiti, the Haitian diaspora, the Living in Haiti podcast. We'll be back.